Hello guys, today we're gonna talk even more about Cartethyia, and yesterday on stream I actually managed to do like most of the tactical holograms and clear them, and I'm only level 80 right now. I just want to talk about some advantages and disadvantages with Cartethyia, and one of them I actually discovered on Crownless here, and I don't know the proper rotation with Rover, so this might be a bit worse, but I cleared this with Siakona and oh yeah, as you can see straight away, I cleared this with Siakona and Cartethyia on stream, and the big issue I had with doing this with Cartethyia is that when you use third release form, you're just so freaking huge, and sometimes you can barely see what Crownless is gonna do. So you really need to know the fights and knowing the pattern of the boss when you do this stuff, because otherwise it's gonna be a bit rough, to be honest. And people have been playing for a longer time than I have probably have an easier time dealing with this. But I'm still dealing with a lot of visuals when it comes to this. And man, that was just really bad performance because I'm talking at the same time. But for me personally, it's just a lot about visuals still. And I don't know like the sound cues as well for some of these stuff. And man, I've said this before, I'm not the greatest at dodging and all that stuff, so that becomes a bit worse for me when I can't even see the boss, you know. And some things with like Rover, I learned a bit and know all of that stuff, and I don't even think that they have my Verina here and my Rover has the best echoes right now either. But this should be possible if you're just better at dodging and all of that stuff than I am. You should easily be able to clear this as well at lower union level and all that. And with Siakona, I actually managed to do a lot more, because it's so much easier to keep up the erosion stacks. So, but man, if you're just a bit better than me, you should be able to clear this with Rover as well. That was a really bad swap, but I was gonna try and get the erosion stacks up before I went in here. But just looking at this already, you should be able to clear it with this lineup as well if you just have the proper stuff. I don't even think I have the right echo set right now on Verina to boost the attack. I don't think I have glow on her. But yeah, she's really solid. Just looking at that was 20k. And it might take a little bit longer for you if you don't have Siakona, but it is totally doable. You just gotta be a bit better at dodging than I am. And if you can't clear them at level 80, you will definitely be able to do it at 90. For sure, even if you don't have Siakona. Just look at this. I did a pretty decent recovery right now on the fight itself. And with the liberation, she's just so good. Okay. I guess I died during the liberation there, somehow. But that's just an example. We still have more to come. And man, at Union, not Union, at level 90, you will just have a much better time as well. Because you have more HP, you have more stats, you're a bit more tanky as well. And let me actually see. Oh, she actually has the proper set. Rover is also built a bit. I don't know. I don't think I've upgraded. Yeah. Look at this. I haven't upgraded anything on Rover yet, so what he can do is also a bit weaker. And I also haven't upgraded anything on Verina as well. And I have maxed out right now as much as I can on Cartethyia. I could probably go more into attack here, but I'm saving resources and making sure I can max Fort and Liberation first. But man, you should have a really great time if you have Cartethyia. And if you're thinking of going Cartethyia, like, you can clear so much stuff even without having Siakona. Though it makes it a lot easier to have her, you still will be able to do it without her. And I've cleared a lot of other stuff as well. I've showed it in previous videos, so if you want to see more about... Whoops. If you want to see more about that, you can go back to my past videos. And man, I dislike that the locking on these bosses just disappears. Whoops. It is still very possible to clear it, and you should be able to have a good time even without the Siakona. Right now I'm just struggling a bit. And this is usually why when I show stuff like this, I actually don't record at the same... I mean, I record it and then I voice over instead of speaking while I focus on the fights. Because I'm not that of a great player yet in this game that I can just jump around and do it at the same time. It's a bit rough. But as you can see, she has a lot of potential. Even without Siakona, she does a decent amount of damage. And if I was able to get the stacks up with my Rover here, it would be a lot better. And I could use other resonators to help out as well. But I for example used I used Phoebe as well when I cleared. But I think there's a decent amount of people that don't have PB as well as Cartethyia on their account, so at least if you're a newer player, so I didn't want to mislead you with that, but everyone should be able to get Rover and Verina. So that's more realistic for a test like this. And yeah, I just feel sometimes it's so bad that Fleur de Lis is so big, especially on some of the bosses that are a bit smaller and has really quick attacks. I'm struggling in that regard with seeing the abilities of the enemies. Might just be me, but having Fleur de Lis so big, I'm just struggling with doing proper dodges, and I'm already struggling with doing dodges in general, but that's a skill issue, not a resonator issue. But you might be struggling because of Fleur de Lis being such a big resonator. But man, even here you can see the damage just being crazy. It wasn't a record, but as you can see, even without Siakona and me not being good enough and Rover dying, you can still clear it. Someone I haven't cleared yet though is Inferno Rider. Maybe we can do this with this comp. I'm just gonna skip the first two difficulties here. But let's also see the interaction with Inferno Rider and Cartethyia. Or Fleur de Lis when she's so big and Inferno Rider is just known to charge straight into and being a bit strange when it comes to the interactions. So we are on the second highest difficulty here, and yeah man, I'm just in general just struggling with Inferno Rider overall. And I don't know what it is with him. He just has one of those where his attacks feels a bit random. Like he charges up for a really long time and then he just is really quick with the slams and stuff he does. And it's just something with me that doesn't compute when it comes to that. So once again, that's just me having skill issues and not Cartethyia and this team being bad. It's it's just something you have to deal with as a player as well. Some bosses you will have an easier time with because they... And the same thing goes with the resonators. That some you will have a lot easier time to play than others because they fit your playstyle more and how you like to play the game and so on. But Cartethyia is still really strong. I did a couple of attempts in between here where, man, it just feels a bit awkward once again with Fleur-de-Lis being so big, and I'm not used to having a character being so big and just covering a lot more of the screen and all of that. Cartethyia being a bit bigger when she's in Fleur-de-Lis form or ultimate form or liberation form is something you're just gonna have to deal with and learn. I'm still learning. I haven't done a lot of bosses lately, but as you can see, I have a bit of a skill issue from time to time, and sometimes you just lock in and you do really well. But my Cartethyia right now is pretty well built, and I also have Defies Thorn. And when I cleared, I also used Siakona and Phoebe. Phoebe makes it a bit easier as well when you can lock them down, and she also has some additional nuke. And just having the ability to use Siakona and use her liberation to stack erosion the entire time as well just makes Cartethyia pop off even more. But if I were to upgrade skills a bit more here and also level up Verina, I think I would have a lot easier time as well with this team. But right now, it's just that awkward part where you need to learn how to deal with Cartethyia when she is in her liberation form. Some bosses that would be really awkward. I will also make a future video about the holograms over here. We'll go through some of the other ones as well. So stay tuned for that. But as always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.